But how did your family respond to you? And also from a business aspect, how tough was that?
Yeah, hardest thing I've ever done for sure. Because yeah, I couldn't work for nearly 3 years, and thankfully, I had an email list and an audience that I could run affiliate promotions to, or previous promotions for our old products to, and that's really what helped me pay the bills and pay for my medical treatment. If it hadn't been for that, I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have ended up moving in with my parents for a while. Um, this, yeah, we have employees, and we still have probably $40,000-$50,000 a month in overhead, and that adds up very quickly when you're not bringing in revenue or income. So luckily, the email list really saved me from that, in that regard. But yeah, it was the hardest thing I've ever been through. There were certainly some periods in the beginning, especially when we didn't know what it was. That was the hardest part, is that first year, because when you don't know what the issue is, it's hard to have hope.
Mm.
You could have told me I had anything, and I would have been thrilled, because at least we know and we have something that we can work towards and have hope to recover from. But when you go to 5 doctors and none of them know what's wrong with you, and they don't know how to help you, that's a really hopeless feeling. And that led to severe depression and suicidal tendencies, and things like that. And you also lose your identity when you can't do anything that you used to enjoy. I essentially couldn't work, couldn't eat the foods that I enjoyed, couldn't drink the drinks that I enjoyed, couldn't have caffeine, couldn't do any of the activities that I liked, couldn't hang out with my friends or go out with them, couldn't play video games, couldn't work on my business, couldn't race cars. So I really lost every single aspect of my life, and I spent a good 2 years living on my couch, and moving from my couch in the day to my bed at night. And that's all that I did, was really try to survive. And um, it was, again, the hardest thing I've ever been through, but also one of the best, because it forced me to let go of all of those, things that I thought were important, or that I depended on in my life, and it forced me to reevaluate every single aspect of life, and it gave me the opportunity to rebuild. I think in a much healthier, more balanced way now these days. So as tough as it was also as beneficial. I think if this hadn't happened, I probably would have ended up having a heart attack. Maybe even by now, with the kind of life that I was living. Again, just 10 out of 10, 9,000 RPM, pushing the engine as hard as I could day and night. You're eventually going to hit that breaking point.